Lately, pretty much everyone is paying attention to rookie WNBA sensation Caitlin Clark, who's even been compared to NBA great Michael Jordan. And it's not just idle talk. Everyone has an opinion about her. Here's why. Caitlin Clark is the all-time point getter in NCAA women's basketball, but it wasn't until Clark inked a 4-year deal with the Indiana Fever that viewers with only a passing interest in women's pro basketball took notice.
It's just cool to have so many people in the stands that, one, appreciate women's basketball, but they understand the history of it.
And it didn't take long before the hype extended beyond the court, to the point where Clark was being used as an example of double standards and weaponized to support a variety of causes. In response, Clark told the press, "Treating every single woman in this league with the same amount of respect, I think, it's just a basic human thing that everybody should do." Ahead of the 2024 WNBA draft, the odds were that the University of Iowa's Clark would be the league's top pick.
They haven't sold tickets to the WNBA draft in years, and they sold out in 15 minutes.
The Indiana Fever did indeed select her first, but the press paid far less attention to another stellar first-round draft pick, LSU grad Angel Reese, one of Clark's most formidable NCAA opponents. Reese was selected 7th overall by the Chicago Sky. Former WNBA superstar Cheryl Swoops seemed to question Clark's draft status when the WNBA was roughly a quarter into its season.
Rookie of the Year was picked today, I give it to Angel.
Okay.
She gonna play hard, period. Don't matter who they're playing.
While Clark gained a legion of new admirers after joining the WNBA ranks, the old boys mentality permeating sports media continues to be hard to shake. Take one exchange in April 2024 at an Indiana Fever media conference between Clark and Indianapolis Star reporter Greg Doyle, which started when he imitated Clark's habitual heart gesture off camera.
I do that at my family after every game, so
Okay,
it's
well,
pretty cool.
let's start doing it to me and we'll get along just fine.
Doyle's remarks sparked angry social media backlash, prompting his publication to suspend Doyle and ban him from attending the Fever's home games for the rest of the season. In a subsequent column, Doyle wrote, quote, "Caitlin Clark, I'm so sorry." ESPN podcaster Pat McAfee tried to emphasize Clark's significance amidst a wave of strong draft picks.
Just call it for what it is. There's one white for the Indiana team who is a superstar.
McAfee later apologized on social media. Less repentant was Bill Maher, who attacked Clark's team for not offering support after an opponent knocked her down.
Only women would do this. Women are catty, even the ones on her own team.
Clark has not only become a basketball sensation, but a national treasure that must be protected, according to some of her more vocal supporters. This group includes New York Post columnist Steve Serby, who wrote, "The last thing anyone in the WNBA should want is injuring the golden goose that lays the golden egg." Clark might be a holy grail of sorts, but she's hardly a shrinking violet, at least according to Swoops, who claimed the rookie regularly gets away with infractions like flopping.
Well, I mean, if you want to talk about bullies, we can talk about every time Caitlin has the ball, she pushes off.
Oh, no.
I'm just saying.
During her Iowa days, Clark was known to sometimes push other players around. Granted, basketball has always been a physical game, but even Clark's own father seemed annoyed at her on-court behavior. Tired of seeing his daughter complain about referees during an Iowa game against Holy Cross, he was seen on the sidelines, sternly mouthing at her to stop. Clark isn't just a hot topic in the WNBA because of her collegiate achievements. The Root columnist Wayne Washington wrote, "She is the newest great white hope, a straight white woman excelling in a sport dominated by black women." And noted Las Vegas Aces center Asia Wilson told the Philadelphia Citizen, "I think a lot of people may say it's not about black and white, but to me, it is." Right-wing commentator Matt Walsh piled on, expressing his problematic opinion on his podcast.
Like the NBA has very few white players, even fewer who are stars. Anyone who champions diversity should celebrate Clark explicitly because she is white.
But black WNBA players are hardly celebrating, especially those being attacked on social media. Although she didn't blame Clark's fans, Chicago Sky player Brianna Turner posted her feelings on X, writing, "I've been called every racial slur imaginable lately, and my teammates have had it even worse." And Turner's teammate, Angel Reese, took to social media to say, "This really is out of control and needs to stop." In June, Clark, who has frequently shown disgust over being pulled into racial controversy, managed an air of diplomacy while addressing reporters on the issue, saying, "People should not be using my name to push those agendas. It's disappointing. It's not acceptable." Clark fans experienced a huge letdown early in June 2024 when she wasn't chosen for the Olympic women's team. Team USA basketball officials pointed out that the dozen players selected had considerable senior team experience, something Clark lacks. That didn't stop fans and pundits alike from voicing their displeasure over the omission. On his podcast, The Herd, podcaster Colin Cowherd tried to explain, the women's Olympic team does not lose in the Olympics. I think they've won 7 straight golds, but you wouldn't know that because you didn't watch. And with Clark, you would. And USA Today columnist Christine Brennan took the sarcastic approach, writing, because this great opportunity to publicize international women's basketball has been eliminated, the vast majority of broadcasters and reporters will be able to focus as they always have on the swimmers and gymnasts and runners and leave the U.S. women's basketball team alone.
They'll cover the men's basketball team, but they won't cover the women's. That is a fact. It is part of the story.
Even politicians like Ted Cruz and Nikki Haley waded into the fray, clamoring for Clark to be added to the team. But Clark herself was unfazed, telling reporters,
Honestly, no disappointment. I think it just gives you something to work for. That's a dream. Hopefully one day I can be there.